Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the topic is formatting office documents. In this topic we will see how we can format our existing office document text into different styles and colors. Let's see. So first option we have is stylus. This stylus is a predefined combination of font, style, color and size that can be applied to any text in your document. Stylus can help your document achieve a more professional look and feel. You can also use stylus to quickly change several things in your document at the same time. If you are not using a stylus, then you have to do it separately also. That means you can even format your documents separately, format your text separately. That means for every text, like I want to format this text, so I select the text first and then I will go to home tab. In a font group I can go for style of text, size, color. I can change any of this. Otherwise, I can use this stylus options predefined combination of configurations. So for that, if we want to format any text in your document, so first what we have to do, select the text you want to format. First, you can select the whole text which you want to format, or place your cursor at the beginning of the line. So you can also press your cursor at the beginning of the line. So even you can select the whole text, or you can just put your cursor at the beginning of that word or line, and then you go to the home tab, stylus group of the home tab. Now you can see some commands are there directly. You can access these different stylus, or you can select this more command option to get more different stylus which you have in the document MS Doc. Right now all the text, by default all the text are selected as a normal text. They don't have any special options. So if we want to format it with different type, like I want to make it heading 1, heading 2 or title, so I can select it from here, or I can click on this drop down to get more options. So if I click on the drop down, then I will get these more options which I can select, like subtitle, title, subtitle, strong, intense code, reference, strong reference, subtitle reference, book title. You can change this different. Now when you get all these options, you can select what you like, click on those, and then your document will appear. The text will appear in the selected style what you have selected. Let's say I have a document here. So I want to change, I have a document here, I want to change this line style. So what I want, I can do this by selecting the whole text, or I can just put my cursor at the beginning of the line, and then from the home tab I can go into this stylus group here, and I can see some stylus here directly which I can access. By default it is normal selected, that means my text is by default as a normal, but I can change them to be in another styles also. Now if I take my mouse anywhere in these styles, if I hover around, you can see the changes in our document. This one says no spacing, so the space between the line is not, it is removed. Heading 1, it is look like this. Heading 2, it's look like this. Title, you can see it is looking like this. Subtitle, subtle emphasis, intense emphasis, or we can go for the more option here, and when I click on the more option, I can get some other options also. And as I go through these options, as I hover around, it gives me the preview. It is not applying in the document, it is just giving me preview of that style. Now let's say I wanted to have this document as a title, this line as a title. So I click on this title. Now you see this document line is become like a title. Titles like your document has a title. So you can make this title look attract, look emphasize, like you should make it big or different color or different style, so that you can see that okay, anyone who see the document, he can say okay, this is the title of the document. Let's say example, this one, the line is I want this one as a subtitle. So I can click on that line and then I can go here and select like subtitle. So you can see it is also changed. Let's say for example, I want to make this line as a heading 1. You can have different headings, so you can select them directly from here. Like I want to make it as a heading 1, so I click here and now you can see it has become like a heading 1. So by going one by one, changing and selecting the different size and style of the text, we can just go for this stylus option here. Then we can also apply the set of style. Set of styles are predefined style of set of styles we have. That means what? It includes a combination of title, headings and paragraph styles. That means we have added in our document title, we have added the subtitle or heading also. So we can use this option, this style set option, to configure all the headings and titles in our document into some predefined style. So this style sets allow you to format all elements in your document at once instead of modifying each element separately. As we see, we have tried to do it separately, but now I want to do it everything once, like all these different lines, different titles and headings, I want to do it at once. So I can do it from here, the set of styles, which I can get it from the design tab. So if I want this, then I go to the design tab. In the design tab, I have this document formatting group, and in that document formatting group, I have some predefined formats here which I can see. So as I hover around these styles, we can see the preview of these styles in our document. Or I can go for more options here to get some more options of style. So when you go there, so you can select, when you click on the more, you can see this more styles option. Then whenever you see like okay, this is what I want, so after that you click on that, that will be applied in your document. It will be applied in your entire document. Let's say I want to change something, this document's entire style. So I go to the design tab here, and in the design tab I have document formatting options, and in that document formatting group I have these different styles. You can see as I hover around those, it start changing, it start giving me those previews of different styles. Now you will decide like what type of set of style you want. Or you can click on this more to get some more styles which is not showing there. Let's say I like this one, so I go for this one, centered. So as you can see, our document is formatted with this style. The heading is looking like this, the subtitle is the title is this, subtitle is this, and the heading is looking like this. So this is how you can change your set of style, and remember it will apply to your whole document. Then we can modify the existing style also. So if you are having an existing style, like I selected this title, I can modify this existing style also to have a different type of text or size of text or color of text. So if you want that, then what you do, select in the stylus group, From the home tab, right click on the style you want to change and select the modify from the drop down menu. So when you right click, you will see these options. From those options, you select this modify option to modify that selected stylus. So after you select the modify, it will open this dialog box. A dialog box will appear. Make the desired formatting changes such as font style, size and color. And if you want, you can also change the name of the style and then click OK and save the changes. So even you can change the name of the style, which is default. Then you can change the style type, the font style, size of the font, make it bold, alignment. You can change the colors also. And when you are done, then you can just press the OK button to make it apply. And then when you press OK, the style will be modified and you can see here the changes. So let's say I have selected this style title, this title, and I want to change something here. I just want to change the style of the text. So right click, I go for modify. Here it is opening this dialog box. I can even change the name from here. I will not change the name. I can change the style of the font. Let's say I select this, and you can see the preview here in the preview tab. When you select any changes, then I can select the size. Okay, size is okay. I will change the color here. So okay, I will select this gold color and I can see the preview here. So when you are done with this, then you can just press OK. You have different options also for alignment options, like you can align it left side, you can see this side, middle, right side, or you can change this distance between the lines. Okay, I leave it as a center, and then after that I will press OK. And now you can see that the style is changed. It has changed the color, it has changed the style of the text also. After that, you can also create your own stylus. That means if you want to create your own, then you can also create your own with your name, and then you can make your configuration, like what type of text you want, what size, what color and whatever. And then what you can save it with your custom settings. So if you want to create your own style, then click the arrow from here in the group. This arrow always have in the group, which group consists of advanced more options. So if suppose this editing group does not have an arrow, because this group does not contain any other more options, but this stylus group contain this arrow, so that we can have more option here. So we click on this arrow in the corner here of the style group, and when you click that, it will open this stylus task pane. Now this will appear. Now you can select the new styles button at the bottom of the task. So at the bottom of the task, we have option to select new style. So when you click on that, it will open this dialog box again. Now here you can change. A dialog box will appear. Enter the name for the style, whatever name you want, then desired text formatting, and then click OK. So select whatever the changes you want and then click OK. When you press OK, then what it will do, the new style will be applied to the currently selected text, that means the text which you have selected, and it will also appear in the stylus group, that is here, so that in future also you can use that stylus in the other word or other line. Let's say I have this heading here. I want to create my own style for heading. So I will right click here in the heading. I will go for this arrow, and when I click on that arrow, I get this dialog box. This is what floating pane. Now what, I will click on this command, new style. Now when I click on this, it opens this dialog box. Now in the dialog box, I can type the name here. Let's say I type my style 1. Now it is style type for the paragraph. It is style based on the heading, because the text which I selected is based on the heading. It is a heading, so it is taking the type of from the heading, like based on heading. So the new style which I am creating is also will be the type of heading. If you don't want to be type of heading, then you can change it from here. Either you want it to be a title, you want it to be heading 1, 2. So depend what type of style you want to create, and then you can select what format of design you want, what font style you want. Let's say I want something like I like this one. Then you can select the size what you want. Let's say I want 24. Then it is in the middle, so you can select where you want, like I want into the left side, right side, or middle. So let's say I want it at the right side. And which color you want, you can select the colors. Let's say I want this color, I want bold. So after this you just press OK, and you can see it is changed in the document also, and you can close it from here, and also it has changed it from this new style also available in your stylus group, and you can select this for other text also. So this is how you can create your own new style. Then the next thing is to use the find and replace command. In many ways you have big documents. So in the big documents, if you have some words or lots of words and you want to find some words in that document, then you can use this find command to find a particular word or particular line. So when you're working with the longer documents, it can be difficult and time consuming to locate a specific word or phrases. So Word can automatically search your document using the find feature, and it allows you to quickly change word and phrases using the replace. So we have both find and replace which you can use. So suppose first I want to find something. From that, so for finding something, so first from the home tab, click the find command here in the home tab. In the home tab, we have an editing group, and in that editing group, we have this find command. So we can select this find command from the editing group. Alternatively, we can use the Control F shortcut key also. So this is also we can use, or we can directly go to the home tab editing group and click on the find command. Now once you click it, the navigation pane will appear on the left side of the screen. On the left side of the screen, this navigation pane will appear. Now type the text you want to find in the find at the top of the navigation pane. Now in our example, I'm going to type fiction. So here I am typing the fiction. This is what the search box for the find. So when I type this, what happened? It will start showing me all the results what it has. You can see here it is saying 25 results are there, and those results you can see here in the navigation pane. So if the text is found in the document, it will be highlighted in yellow, and a preview of the result will appear in the navigation pane. Alternatively, you can click one of the result below the arrow to jump to it. So you can directly click on the results so that you can jump to the next to those results, or you can use this up down arrow key also. So you can use this up down arrow key to change or jump into next result, or you can directly click on the line to get the result. And when you are done, then you can close this pane, navigation pane, from this cross. So when you click, when you are finished, then what? When you are finished, then click this X to close the navigation pane. Now remember, when you close it, so the highlight will disappear. It will not disappear. The text will not disappear. Only the highlighting will be disappear. Let's say we have this document. Now I want to find something in this document. So what I will do here, in the home tab, I will go to the editing group and click on the find command. So when I click on the find command, this navigation pane appears in the left side. Now here I can type whatever I want. So let's say I want to search this word. Now you can see the word is highlighted here in the document in a yellow color, and in this side you can see the result. It says 92 results are there, and you can see one by one those lines here. Let's say I type, so you can see. Now you can click on those. It is showing here that this line consists of this word like publish, superb, essay, literally, customize, criticizing, criticism, fiction, poetry, and of course review of count. So this line have this word, then the next line have this word. It is showing this line, that line, and all that. If you want to go to those lines, like if I want to check this, so I click on this, it took me to that, the word is selected. If I want this, it took me to that and the word is highlighted. If I want this, it took me to this one. And even I can use this up and down arrow key to go down or to go up, down, up. Now when we are done with the searching, then we can remove this pane from closing it from here, and when we close, you see the highlight will be removed, the text will not remove. So now they are not highlighted. That is what we have find. Now after finding, we can do replace also. So replace also, that means we have find something and now we want to replace. In a big document, or you have a large document and you want to replace some word from the whole document, then it is very difficult to find each word and replace it. So you can use this one to do this very easily. So for replacing anything, find from the home tab, click on the replace command here. So when you click on the replace command, alternatively you can use Ctrl plus H key also. So now when you click on the replace command, then it will open this dialog box. This dialog box, the find and replace dialog box will appear. Now here type the text you want to find in the find what field, and type the text what you want to replace it within the replace with field, and then click the find next. That means here you have to type the text you want to find, and here you have to type the text which you want to replace with, and after typing this you just click on find next. When you click on find next, it will highlight the text which you search. So the word will find the first instance of the text and highlight it in gray. Now review the text to make sure you want to replace it. In our example, the text is part of the title of the paper and does not need to be replaced. So you will find next again to jump to the next instance. So let's say I will find it here. So this is my document, and now I'll go to this home tab. In an editing group, I will go to replace. When I click on replace, now this dialog box will appear. Now first I will type what I want to search. and then I will type what I want to replace with, and then I will say find. Now here in my case it goes into this text here. Now it is finded this, it is highlighted in the gray. Now do I want to replace it or not? It depends on it depends on me. So first I will review that is it need to be replaced or not. So if suppose I want to replace it, then I will click with this replace command. Otherwise I will go for find next. I don't want to replace this, then I will go to say find next. Now it goes to the next line, next search. Now do I want to replace this one? Let's say I want to replace it, so I click on replace command. Now that one is replaced. Now it goes to the next search. Do you want to replace this one also? I say okay, I want to replace this one also. Now you can see it is replaced here, SR, and it goes to the next search here. Do I want to replace this? Yes, I want to replace this one also. Now you see this one is replaced and it has gone to the next search. Now you can do it by one by reviewing the document and replacing the word, or you just go find next, this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one. So you can just go on to search and you can say which you want to replace or not. Or otherwise you can say I want to replace every word in the document. Then you can just go for replace all. It will do what? It will replace the all word in the document. Now it is saying what? We made 59 replacements, and do you want to continue searching from the beginning? Yes or no? That means it is already finished. Now if you did the search again, you will not find anything. Let's say I say yes. Now it says all done, we made 89 replacements, and now there is no word. And after that you can close it. So after you done with this, then you can close it too. So if you want to replace it, you can click replace to change individual instance of text. Alternatively, you can click replace all to replace every instance of the text throughout the document. And when you are done, click close or cancel to close the dialog box. Click close, that means this one, or cancel to close. Next thing is table. Now table is a grid of cells arranged in rows and columns. So tables can be used to organize any type of content. To organize different type of content, we use tables, whether you are working with text or numerical data. Now in Word you can quickly insert a blank table, or even we can convert the existing text to a table. You can also customize your table using different styles and layout. So we can use to create new table also, or we can have, if we have existing text in our document, so we can convert it into table also. And tables are what? It's a grid of cells. Grid of cells, that means a one box in a table, it is called cell. So it's a grid of cells arranged in a rows and columns. So rows and columns, that means you can say these are the columns and these are the rows. So your tables are like this. It's like a grid, and this single box in the table is called cell. So we can create it blank table, or we can convert existing text into table. So let's say I want to create a blank table. So for that I want to insert the blank table. So place the insertion point where you want the table to appear, then navigate to the insert tab and then click on the table command. This is the insert tab and this is the table command. Now when you click on the table command, this will open a drop down menu that contains a grid. So hover over the grid to select the number of column and rows you want. So these are the columns and these are the rows. So you can hover your mouse around to see how many rows and how many columns you want. It shows there also, and the preview also you will see on the document. And then when you are done with this, so click the grid to confirm your selection and the table will appear. Then after that, to enter the text, place the insertion point in any cell and then begin typing. So if the table now is there in the document, now I want to add something here in this cell. So I click in that cell and then start typing what I want to type. For example, this is my document and I want to add the table here. So first I put my insertion point here where I want to add the table. Then I go to the insert tab and then there is a table command here. So when I click on this, it opens the grid. Now here I can choose. Now you can see the preview in the document. First only one line, one row, one column, two column, one row, or two column, two row, two column, three row, three column, three row, or so on. So you can go on and select how much you want. Now when you are done, then you click it and the table is there. And then when you want to type something in the cell, then click on the cell and then you can start typing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever. So this is what you can create a blank table and then you can add it whatever text you want to add it. Next, you can do what? You can convert the existing text into table. So to convert the existing text to a table, in the example below you can see here, each line of the text contains part of a checklist. Like these are the lines and they have some checklist. Like to do some work, we have decided like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I will do homework or feed fish, dishes, sweeping, clean, recycling. So I will do or not do, I have like this checklist. Now including chorus and keys of the key, days of the key, the days of the week, the items are separated by tabs. Now this is important. Now Word can convert this information into a table using the tabs to separate the data into columns. Now remember, when you try to convert the data, so you have different lines, like I have line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what word will do, these lines automatically, these lines will convert into rows. So these lines, Word will consider them as a row. Very simple. But the problem comes for the columns. Now because it's a line, now Word have to define, now Word have to decide that how many columns you have and which word is in which column. So the column have to be decided now. Now for deciding the column, the tab, the machine, the Word use tab. We can use the tab as a divider or separator of the column. So important is, like when you are creating the document and when you are creating this text and you want to convert into the document, into the table, then you have to add the tab into these words, so that Word, when you convert it, then Word can take tab as a column separator. So let's say select the text you want to convert into the table and then you will go to the insert tab. In the insert tab, again the command, table command, and in that table command you have this convert text into table. Now when you select this convert text into table from the drop down, it will open this dialog box. So dialog box will appear. Now choose one of the option under separate text at. This is how Word knows what to put in which column. So as we saw, the lines is 6. So it is highlighted. I cannot increase the lines because I have already selected the text here, and that text consists of 6 lines. So rows are selected. Word knows that there are 6 rows. Now for column, it is asking me that how you want to separate your text into columns. So by default, it is selected always this paragraph option. Then you can select these other options. Now you can use comma to separate, or you can use tab also. Now in my document it is tab. This tab is separating the document. So I will click the tab and then press the OK. So the dialog box will appear. So you select what you want like tab and then click OK. The text will appear in a table like this. Let's say I have a text here. Now this text I want to convert it into table. So what I will do, I will first select the text and then I will go to insert, and then in the table command I have this option to convert text to table. When I click this, it opens this dialog box. Now as you see here, the 6th row is already selected and I can't change this. Why? Because there are 6 lines there. Now for column, it is saying there is only one column. Now why it is saying one column? Because by default there is a paragraph selected. So paragraph means they are all in single paragraph. The whole text you can see here, they are in single paragraph. So it is taking it as a single paragraph, that means single column. Now because I wanted to change it to table, I made that document, I made this text and give a tab in between those words so that they can become different columns. So I know there is a tab to separate those words, so I click on this tab option. Now when I select this tab option, now you can see here it is now showing 5. Now it is saying 5 columns are there. Why? Because they are separated with tab. How many columns I have? 1 for this homework, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, total 5. Either I can use comma also, but when I use comma, now it is saying single. Why? Because they are not separated by comma. Or I can use some special character also. Right now there is no character, so I will select tab and say OK. And you can see my data is now in table. So by default we have option to divide this text, separate the text by tab and comma. Right now my data is separated by tab, so I selected the tab. Let's say my data will be separated by comma. Now I will remove the tab and then I will put commas there. Now I am separating those words by comma. I am removing the tab. So now what I did, I separated these words with comma, not tab. Now I select the whole document again, the whole text again, go to insert tab, table and convert text to table. Now this time when I select tab, now it is showing what? Only one column. Why? Because there is no tab there, but I put the comma there, so I can use that comma. Now again it is saying what? You have multiple columns. It is saying 6. Somewhere we have added some extra comma. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, so now it is taking it as a comma, as a separator. So I press OK, and now you can see it has changed. So this is what we can use comma also, or even we can use some other text also, like other symbol also, like say instead of comma I am using now star. So instead of comma we can use another some other symbols also. Now this time I am using this star. But in the dialog box we don't have an option for this star. We have only option for comma or tab. But if we don't have an option for that another kind of symbol, then we can go for fourth option. So there is a fourth option there which we can select for some other kind of symbols. Now I will select my text again, and then insert tab, table, convert to table. Now don't have comma, don't have tables, so I will go for other. Now what other? So here I will put the symbol which I have. I have a star. Now when I press OK, now it is converted into table again, and accordingly separated by the symbol star. That is what you can do. So converting the text into table, we don't do normally. It is very rare because you have to have a data accordingly if you want to convert it. Then for modifying the tables, that means you can easily change the appearance of your table once you have added one to your document. So there are several options for customizing, including adding rows or columns and changing the table style. So we can add rows or columns, and we can delete the rows and columns, and also we can do what? Change the style of the table. So first, suppose later we do add the row or column. So for adding the row or column, you hover outside the table where you want to add a row or column and click the plus sign that appears, this one. When you go to the edge of the table, you will see this plus symbol. So when you click on that symbol, it will add an extra column. Now for adding the extra row, you have to go to the end of the row here in this side. Then it will show you the plus symbol, and then you can add it. So let's say here I want to add extra table, extra column. So here I go in the end of the table, you see I am seeing this plus symbol. So when I add this, click on this, it added this new column. Even we can add it in between the column also, like this Thursday and Wednesday. I want to add new column in between. So I go to this middle, I'll see the plus symbol, and then click here, and it is added. Then we can add the rows also. For adding the row, you have to go to this side, and you can see the plus symbol to add new row. In between also, like in between two rows you want, then you can add it from here. This is to add the rows or column. Same as we add, we can remove also. So if we want to delete it, so to delete a row or column, first place the insertion point in the row or column you want to delete, then right click and then select the delete cell from the menu. So when you right click, it will open this menu. From here you can select this delete cell command. Remember, I'm not deleting row or column, I'm selecting delete cells, because I am right clicking on a single cell. So when I click on that cell and right click on the cell, it will give me an option, and I select delete cell. Now when I select delete cell, Word will ask me that whether you want to delete the row or column. So a dialog box will appear and choose delete entire row or delete entire column, then click OK if you want to delete row or column. So when you press it OK, it will delete the entire row or column. So let's say I want to delete this row, so I right click here, it opens the option, so I click delete cells. Now it is saying when you want to delete, what you want to delete, do you want to delete the single cell or you want to delete the whole row or whole column? So I want to delete the row, so I click on the row and say delete, so it deletes the row here. If you want to delete the row, then you select delete the row. If you want to delete the column, then you can right click in the cell, delete the cell, and then you can click on delete the column. Now it will delete the entire column. Now remember, when you delete, the other data will come in place of that deleted column. And that is what happened when you delete the cell. Now if you delete the single cell, that is what we don't do actually, because it can misconfigure the data. Suppose if I select delete the cell, so it will ask me that shift cell left or shift cell up. That means I am deleting this cell which is dishes. So if I delete this cell, so what it says, shift cell left, then what, this X for Monday will go in place of that dishes. Now what, it will corrupt the data. That means the data will not be correct because this whole line will be moved to the left side, the rest of the line. Or if I select shift up, then this sweeping will come in place of dishes. Then this side data will be wrong because it does not move the whole row, it will just move the cell, and this sweeping will go in place of dishes. And you can see the sweeping is not have a Monday checkbox, but when it moves to this place it has the checkbox, so it will be corrupt. Let's say I say shift cell to up. Now you see the last cell is empty now, and the sweeping is gone to the place of dishes, and you can see the data, this data remains there. So now it is changed and now it is not right. So that is what, if you delete a single cell, if you delete it from the right side also, like if I move it to left, so now you see it is moved this side, the whole row, and table is not looking good. So this is how we can delete the table, delete the rows and columns, or even we can delete single cells also, which is not recommended to do, because if you are having a lots of data in the table, so it can misconfigure the data. So it is not recommended to delete a single cell, but we can even delete it also. This is what we have for the today's lecture. Now we will continue in the next lecture. This topic has not finished, so we will continue in the next lecture. Have a good day.